These are the 5 key ingredients, the 5 key traits that I think are invaluable when it comes to leadership in general. Whether it's the automotive field or whatever field, people want people that they can trust and follow. Stick around to the end. Let me know what you think. Drop some comments below, and let's see what we can do to grow. All right, welcome back. There's certain traits that every leader in every field has, right? Whether it starts with like visionary thinking or emotional intelligence, decisiveness, there's so many different things that go into it. I've worked with so many leaders over the years. Some of them were absolutely people that you wanted to follow and people that you knew were going to lead you to the promised land. But what's it really take? That's a struggle for a lot of people, and everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own thoughts. There's certain ingredients that I have found over the last 18 years that really amount to what makes a great leader. A visionary leader is someone who sees the bigger picture and is able to chart a path toward future success. This involves not only setting ambitious goals, but also inspiring others to buy into that vision. Think about that for a minute. Think about some of the people in the automotive industry. Where would we be without Henry Ford? Right? The vision was so huge. Think of some people that maybe are closer to you. Think of Elon Musk, what he's done with the electric vehicles with Tesla. Closer to my heart, Glenn Lundy. What he's been able to accomplish, not only at a dealership that he grew over 800%, but also with what he's doing for dealerships and owners across the country. Right? These visions are so huge. I remember a story with Glenn to where when we were at our store in Paris, to where he shared with me the goal and the vision of selling 6,000 cars in a year. We had never done that before. Everybody thought he was crazy. It was such a high vision. Well, guess what? We sold 6,000 cars that year. His goal of selling 1,000 cars in a month seems nuts. We sold 1,100 cars in March of 2018. So you want to have somebody that has this vision, somebody that inspires people so much that their people follow along with them because they see the vision too. That's what makes up a visionary leader. And that is why that is number one. You want somebody that has visionary thoughts to be able to lead people. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and those of others. In leadership, it means being aware of your team's needs, feelings, and motivations. Where would we be in this world without emotional intelligence? And it is a term that most people have no clue what it actually is or what it does, how it affects people around us, or anything else like that, and definitely not how it works with leadership. Being self-aware, being able to regulate your situation around you, being able to control the feelings and the emotions of not only yourself, but your sales team and your customers is invaluable for being a good leader. There's so many aspects of it, but you can take that to the next level and take your emotional intelligence to your home life, to your personal life, and being able to recognize how your emotions, when you get angry, when you get upset with your kid, how that really hurts that relationship, right? That is something we all need to strive to do. We all need to figure out a way to make ourselves self-aware, socially aware, being able to regulate our feelings, being able to control our emotions, and being able to take those emotions and to harness them into a power to where we now have an opportunity to actually be able to grow That's what emotional intelligence is all about, right? It leads us into an aspect of being able to be better people, better leaders, better in general. A great example of this is myself. There was the old Sam and the new Sam. The old Sam was the guy that literally I got results by beating the crap out of people, right? I would beat them in to where they would understand what I wanted them to do. I did not care about their feelings or their emotions. I only cared about the end result. The new Sam, he recognized that that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to lead a team. You lead a team by making sure that you keep your emotions in check, which allows you to be able to keep your team's emotions in check, and allows you now to be able to go ahead and harness that into a customer experience that is unlike no other. That's what emotional intelligence is all about. That's what we're trying to make sure that everyone understands. How do you harness that power for good? Effective leaders are decisive, making informed decisions swiftly and confidently. Along with decisiveness, they take accountability for their actions and decisions, setting an example for their team. Now we're going to start getting some of the real nuts and bolts of this, okay? Decisiveness and accountability are critical to the success of any leader, right? I will repeat that. Critical to the success. Why do I say that? Think about it for a minute. Think of your teams. Think of customers. Think of the fact if you're not able to make a decision or you are not confident enough to make that decision, what's that make you look like in front of your team? And when you make a mistake, do you fess up to it? Do you hone up to it? Do you hold yourself accountable? If you don't, how are you going to hold your team accountable? Being a good leader takes action. It takes accountability on yourself. It takes the fact that you need to understand your strengths and your weaknesses. If you are not a strong communicator, if you're not a strong motivator, then you need to hold yourself accountable for that and learn how to become a better communicator. Learn how to become a better motivator. You got to hold yourself accountable. You also have to make sure that you are able to make the decisions that you need to make in any kind of role. Think of the customer. That's something I want you to make sure we're thinking about all the time, because that's what makes a great leader, is when you're thinking about the customer too. Think of the customer experience. If you're able to make a decision, then that means that the customer experience can be better than saying, let me go get somebody else, let me go get this person, let me go grab that person. We're wanting to make the customer experience something that is unlike anything else. And the accountability part comes into that, because you need to make sure if you make a mistake, you need to make sure that you are holding yourself accountable. Your team sees that. Your team sees that, you know what? I hold myself accountable because he held himself accountable. My teams would run through a brick wall for me for the reason of that. I made sure that I had their backs and they had my backs. Why? Because I made the decision quickly and I would hold them accountable just like I held myself accountable. Hold yourself accountable and make decisions. In the ever-changing landscape of the automotive industry, adaptability is key. Leaders must be able to pivot and adjust strategies in response to new market trends, customer demands, and industry innovations. All right, so adaptability and resilience, think about that for a moment. Think about how that affects everything. Are you adaptable? With the ever-changing world where we're now getting into like electric vehicles and we're seeing more of them on the lot, are you adaptable to the changes when somebody recommends something that could help you grow? Or are you stuck in your ways? Are you stuck in the past? Are you stuck in the way that dealerships have done for years. Resilience is something that literally makes or breaks you. Are you resilient? A good example to both of these is back in 2020 when we had COVID. For those of you that were in the industry at that time, how did it feel? You had to adapt and overcome every day, and you had to be resilient. There were shutdowns across the country. We had to figure it out. COVID forced us to adapt, overcome, and be resilient. Now, those are things that you need to learn. Those make a good leader, being able to adapt to changes. Think of a customer when they're upset and they come to you. You need to be able to adapt to it. And you need to bounce right back from a bad deal or a customer that didn't buy or anything else like that. But it also works in life. Think of a day that you had that really wasn't a great day. Do you take that home with you? Do you take that home to your wife, your kids, your spouse, whoever? Or are you resilient and do you overcome that? Being able to adapt to changes, the ever-changing world, is something that makes a great leader, somebody that people want to follow. If you're not adaptable and you're not resilient, why would anybody ever follow you? Nobody's ever going to follow you. So make sure that you are open to change. Make sure that you come strong up here. It's the mindset. That's what resilience is the mindset. So make sure these are things that you learn in order to be a great leader. And these are things that you can learn. How do you adapt? How do you overcome? And how do you become resilient? Great leaders know how to inspire and motivate their teams. This involves clear, consistent, and effective communication, as well as the ability to influence others toward achieving common goals. Guys, nuts and bolts here. Communication is key. ABC, always be communicating. If you're not communicating with your team in an effective, inspiring, motivating way, again, why would anyone follow you? Great leaders are able to communicate their goals and motivate their teams towards those goals. We motivated our teams to chase a common goal. We did this with having effective communication. We talked about it. We talked about amongst our managers. We talked amongst our sales teams. It was a constant in our sales meetings. It was wristbands that we had. It was every place. Our goal was there. People knew, but that's what made us effective as leaders, is because we were communicating. We communicated with our teams. After the sales meetings, we had individual team meetings where we communicated again with our individual teams, but we always wanted to make sure that we were communicating. ABC, guys, always be communicating. There you have it. Those are what I believe are the key traits for being an effective and great leader. Not everybody's going to feel the same way. Some people, the visionary thoughts that for some people are not what's crucial to them, and they don't even think about that. They'd rather have that person as a bigger communicator and motivator. Some people don't think about the adaptability part of it. They don't think about being a motivator. They don't think about people that are self-aware and people that are socially aware, people that are resilient and able to adapt. It's really what you think makes a great leader. All right? That's what makes a great leader, is somebody that people want to follow. And some people want to follow different things. Like and subscribe. Drop me a comment below. Let me know, what do you think makes a great leader? And I'll catch you guys next time.